Hey Pokemon Masters, Birdkeepertoby here. What are Mega Evolutions? What type is Sylveon, and will Hoenn ever be confirmed? These are all questions that plagued us Pokemon fans for a time, but eventually we got answers, and with every game's release, new questions arise. And now, with Pokemon Sun and Moon, the big question of the day is, who is Lillie? Be sure to subscribe to youtube.com/Birdkeepertoby for more Pokemon videos every Tuesday and Friday, and let's tackle this question. So, since the latest Pokemon Sun and Moon trailer, we have seen Lillie, the Professor Kukui's mysterious assistant. And you know me, Pokemon Masters, I like me a good Pokemon mystery. And speculation has been ranging from she's related to Lysandra from Kalos, or to her being the champion of this region, or even to her being the head of the evil organization of the region. I think not, because I think we actually know who Lillie is. I think she's a character we've met before. Catelyn. Most of you will remember Catelyn as the Elite Four member of Unova. She is the sleepy, psychic master. I say master, more of a princess who's a little bit annoyed as to why you're waking her up for your battle. And she, as you can see, looks a lot like Lillie, but of course, that would be a terrible video if that was my only point. However, while most of you will remember Catelyn in this way, she also appeared in previous games in the Generation 4 games as a Frontier Brain. It's just not a lot of people remember her because while she was in fact the Frontier Brain, you didn't battle her. You battled the Castle Valet, Drake or Derek? I don't know. He battled on behalf of Lady Catelyn and is said to even have unspoken feelings for her. And while he doesn't show up in black and white, apparently he does travel to Unova to clean Lady Catelyn's home. So why would Catelyn be even remotely related to Lillie? Well, as I've spoken before, there is the look similarity. It looks like Lillie could well be a younger Catelyn, and seeing as we've seen a middle stage Catelyn, that would make this Lillie around about age 12 to 13. Which, based on the way she looks, makes sense. It would put these games in line in the timeline with Red and Blue, as well as Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because the Frontier Brain Catelyn is aged 14 and she appears in the Generation 4 games, and the Unova Catelyn is upwards of 16. Okay, so it could work with the sort of timeline, but what other connections are there between the two? Well, their names. They both mean purity, both Catelyn and Lillie. Okay, but that's not a lot. Come on, you must have something more. Well, looking at everything we know about Lillie so far, we know that she's not fond of making Pokemon battle. As well as that, her main character arc carries this sort of pout. She's clearly a polar opposite to your ecstatic new rival. How? I say that with a question mark because, again, new name pronunciations. And a pouting princess who won't battle herself is exactly what our Generation 4 Catelyn is. And in fact, even in Generation 5, despite the fact she's got a role as an Elite Four member, she doesn't seem to really want to battle you. She's just a bit like, how dare you disturb my slumber? I hope she doesn't sound like that. Another big point here is that Lillie is very much wrapped up in the plot of Pokemon Sun and Moon, a plot which will also likely tie in with the legendary Pokemon, both of whom are psychic types, and of course, this is an Elite Four member, she is a psychic master. And one more small bit of evidence is that in the Unova region, Catelyn has a home on Undella Bay. And it makes sense that if she's from the Alola region, that her home away from home is, of course, on a beach. Okay, but all of that stuff is maybe coincidental. All of it is tiny. Come on, there must be one concrete statement, something in the lore somewhere that says this could be true. And of course there is, because when you defeat Caitlyn in black and white, she says that in the past she let her emotions get the better of her. She couldn't control her psychic powers and so didn't battle very much. However, that weak person does not exist anymore. She is now the strong, proud member of the Elite Four. That weak person doesn't exist anymore. That's definitely the kind of dialogue that comes with someone of a rejected past identity, and would absolutely explain that name change from Lillie to Catelyn. She hated who she was as Lillie, someone who was too weak to battle with Pokemon. Someone who couldn't control her emotions or her psychic powers, so she rejected that identity to become Catelyn, the psychic Pokemon Master. Alone, these individual coincidences and bits of evidence don't mean a lot, but together they pile up to paint a picture. The journey of a young Pokemon trainer who you're going to meet. However, maybe it is all coincidences. Do you believe me? Do you think they're the same characters? Do you think that Drake will ever find his way outside of the friend zone? You're gonna have to let me know, and if you do, you'll be in with the chance of winning a copy of Pokemon Sun and Moon when they're released. That's right, any comment on any of my videos with Sun and Moon in the title acts as an entry towards winning a copy of Pokemon Sun or Moon when they finally get released. For another theory just like this one, I recommend my theory about Valerie. Again, lots of coincidental bits of information that pile up to paint a bigger picture. Or for more Sun and Moon stuff, I recommend my theory about Olympia and her relation to the Moon Legendary. So hi, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeepertoby. That makes you a Pokemon Master!